Fabio Wardley has been training hard with one of the most talked about young heavyweights in Britain. Just knowing that makes his upcoming fight with Daniel Dubois even more exciting and interesting. As he gets ready to defend his WBO title for the first time, Lay has been training at the Ben Davidson Performance Center with rising contender Moses Itauma, who many believe could become a world champion. Seeing the champion and the young star train together has made people in boxing talk quietly. Some think it's the best place to grow. Others think it's the calm before a big storm in the heavyweight division.
You do wonder, when it comes on top for him, Daniel Dubois, what's up there and does he want it? That's the only real question mark I've got over his career. Obviously losing to Usyk's no disgrace, but he's a massive puncher, big hard hitter, and Fabio Wardley has never really been in there. You've got Justice Hooney, you've got Joseph Parker, you've got Fraser Clark. None of them are really bangers, are they? None of them can really punch hard for heavyweight. I'm sure if they hit you on the chin, it'd hurt. But somebody like me who's got a granite chin, I think I'd be okay. But Daniel Dubois, we know, is a monster puncher. I've seen him over the years. The stories in the ring, in the gyms for years have been when he hits people, he buzzes them and they look like they've had the electric shock treatment, and they walk back to the corner, they're all over the place. And we see him when he splattered AJ, absolutely flattened him. He beat him up, then he battered him in their fight. That just shows the power he carries. Can Fabio Wardley stick it on him and make him go to them levels where he's thinking about quitting? I think this will be a fight here where we'll find out what Fabio Wardley's actually got. We know he's capable, we know he's busy, we know he's ambitious, we know he wants to be, well, this will be a world champ, but we know he wants to be in the game for a while, and we know he loves the sport, and he's doing well. He's far exceeded the expectations of anybody within the boxing game for what he's achieved, and fair play to Fabio Wardley. But this might just be the one where he finds out, actually, this is what pro boxing is all about, because Daniel Dubois, if he's firing on all cylinders and he fancies the job, he could end up really causing some damage and knocking out Fabio Wardley bad. But Fabio Wardley's knocked out most of his opponents. He's never been done himself, so this is I want to say it's a 50-50 fight on paper, but in reality, you've got to make Daniel Dubois the favourite.
Lay became the full WBO champion in a surprising way. After winning the interim belt with a big win over Joseph Parker in October, he hoped to fight the top fighter Alexander Usyk. But Usyk gave up the title instead of fighting him, so Lay became full champion without another match. That gave Lay choices. He could have picked an easier first fight as champion. Instead, Queensberry Promotions set him up against one of the hardest punchers in the division, former IBF champion Daniel Dubois.
It's likely to be Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardley on May the 9th at the O2. What do you make of that as of a fight for Wardley?
It's a very good fight. I think it's a brilliant fight for the fans.
First title defence.
Yeah, it's a tough first title defence. And listen, I've had my opinion on Dubois many a time, but what I've never ever not said is he's an unbelievable athlete and a good fighter and a very dangerous fighter, and someone who would be a nightmare to be in the ring against, given his size, his tools, his attributes, just the whole presence of him. I think it's a very tough fight. I think it's a potential to be a brilliant fight.
I think so too.
And Wardley is the type that can bring that out in Dubois, as in he'll absorb a lot. I think he's got a really good chin, he's tough, he's obviously game, he's got that equaliser power as well. And I think it's a very good fight. It's a risky one for the first defence, I think.
Can you relate to the mindset of your first defence being such a hard one, given the fact that you are, by definition, taking a very hard first defence?
Like, at the end of the day, we're boxers, we're fighters. If you're not willing to get in with anyone, then what's the point of boxing? What's the point of being a world champion? Like, no matter who the opponent is, if you want to take the easy way, that's fine. But if there's an opponent there who's set and that's for you, get on with it. What can you do about it? You know what I mean? Control uncontrollable, and that's what you have to do.
Dubois comes into this fight with both confidence and pressure. In July 2025, he lost his IBF belt to Alexander Usyk. Before that, he was on a strong run, knocking out Anthony Joshua, Filip Hrgovic and Jarrell Miller one after another. That run showed why many once saw him as the future of British heavyweight boxing. His power is very real. He has knocked out top fighters in sudden, shocking ways. But people still question his mental toughness after tough losses, especially in the fight with Joe Joyce and his first match with Usyk. Since both fighters have knockout rates close to 95%, most fans don't think this fight will go to the judges. Moses Itauma, who trains with Wardley every day, believes in his teammate. From training together, he has seen Wardley prove people wrong again and again.
That is one of the best fights in the heavyweight division, stylistically, at the moment. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm hearing, May the 9th is the date, possibly Manchester, could be the venue. I know that O2 was rumoured.
Manchester, I had the conversation this morning, maybe Wembley, maybe Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a fight that merits a venue?
Oh yeah,
like Wembley, like the Tottenham Hotspur, like Manchester.
Well, first of all, it's a heavyweight clash.
Did it fill it?
Of one former world champion and one current world champion. Fabio Wardley is very popular and is building up a reputation, and people like him because he speaks brilliantly when you ever hear him. He's a very pleasant fellow, but he's done great work in the ring recently, with Joe Parker being the latest victim and recipient of outcomes that people projected that he couldn't achieve. Daniel Dubois divides opinion, but because ultimately there's so many people that believe that Daniel Dubois can be another world champion again, but there's a section of the audience that thinks that maybe Daniel doesn't have the mental switch to deal with the real adversity when it comes on top. But what they both can do is they can punch. The fact is that it's a great fight and very bold of Fabio to take.
At the same time, Itauma has big goals of his own, which makes things more complicated. 6 weeks before Wardley and Dubois fight in Manchester, he will face tough American boxer Jermaine Franklin. This fight is another big step toward a title shot, and a strong win could move him closer to that dream. If Dubois wins the belt, a fight between him and Itauma would be simple to make. But if Wardley keeps the title, it would be harder since they train at the same gym with the same coach. Itauma knows that would not be easy, but he hasn't fully said no to it either. Right now, he is focused on Franklin, and he is expected to be ringside at the Co-op Live Arena on May 9th to watch what happens.
But then obviously the guys who's got the belts, Fabio Wardley and Usyk, I mean, they've earned the right to do whatever they want, and I guess they probably wouldn't fight me either. So obviously Fabio's in the same gym as me as well. So it's just, I'm in a sticky predicament.
But it's a nice predicament. I mean, many people might suggest that you're on a path to fight the winner of Dubois Wardley. Would you fancy that opportunity?
I mean, I'd never pass that down. Why would I ever turn down a world title?
If that was to happen, who would you prefer to go in against?
Obviously Dubois, because that's what I'm saying.
They showed you.
Yeah.
Fabio.
Yeah. You and Fabio share the same gym.
Johnny Nelson says this fight is very even and could go either way, which makes it exciting. He has been following Fabio Wardley closely and is impressed by how the champion handles tough situations. In 2025, Wardley faced big challenges against Justice Huoney and Joseph Parker. Even when he looked like he was losing late in the fights, Wardley never gave up and came back to win. That showed not just skill but heart, courage, and the ability to stay strong under pressure. Because of that, Nelson thinks this next fight is unpredictable. Anything could happen with one good punch or one mistake. He also talked about how Daniel Dubois is going back to his old trainer Don Charles after leaving him and working briefly with Tony Sims. Nelson believes boxing is about business, but he also thinks trust, loyalty, and respect still matter. Taking Dubois back shows Don Charles is kind and willing to give a second chance, even though business rules are still there. Lennox Lewis also admires Wardley's journey. Lewis knows what it takes to become a champion because he defended the heavyweight title against Frank Bruno and Henry Akinwand. He understands that an all-British world title fight is very important, not just for the fighters but for the history of British boxing. Wardley's rise from small, low-profile fights to the top of the WBO rankings shows hard work, persistence, and resilience. This fight is special because it will be only the 7th time two British fighters fight for a heavyweight world title, and the 6th time it happens in Manchester, a city with a long history in boxing. That history, combined with the skill and power of both men, makes this fight a huge moment. Fans are expecting drama, big punches, and possibly a fight that will be remembered for years because both men have so much at stake, and both have shown they can handle pressure. When the bell rings, all the stories, struggles, and histories will meet in the ring, and everyone watching will feel the tension, excitement, and importance of this massive clash.
I think that's another great fight to see because Fabio Wardley has come a long way and made some big steps. And you should feel proud of what is accomplished so far. And I think that'll be a great British fight. All the British fans are going to be excited about it.
Not everyone sees the fight the same way. Dave Allen thinks it is simple. The one who lands the first clean punch will likely win, and it may not take long. He believes Daniel Dubois will finish the fight within 6 rounds. Allen knows people still question Dubois's mindset, but he says Wardley does not have the smart, tricky style that Alexander Usyk used to trouble him. He feels Dubois's size, strength, and basic skills will be enough to deal with Wardley, especially in the early rounds.
You know, when you get 2 punches, sometimes it can go a lot longer than you think because they can be a little bit timid. I don't think Wardley would ever be timid, but he can be a little bit more, second-guess himself more. Dubois, obviously, there's question marks over his, his mentality, how he does under pressure. I don't think Wardley has the style to really befuddle him the way Usyk did. I think he has grown out of the going out on one knee like he did with Joyce. So I favour Dubois. It's only the 6th time I've picked against Wardley, not the 26th time in 22 fights, as some people would have you believe. I just think the way Wardley fights, he's been matched hard for his experience. I couldn't say a bad word about him because he's done exceptional, but I don't think he's been in with a puncher like Dubois yet. And Dubois is just as big, just as strong, just as powerful, but I think he has the tools and the boxing skill and the speed to land the big one first. Now, no result in this fight would overly unduly shock me. A Wardley stoppage win certainly wouldn't shock me. If he hits Daniel could unravel very easily, but I just think from a style point of view, Wardley for Daniel is a good match at this level. I'm going to go Dubois inside 6. I don't think it'll go that early. But again, it is a tremendous fight. It's probably the most exciting fight in heavyweight boxing at the minute. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Eddie Hearn has a different worry. He does not agree with Dubois going straight into a world title fight without an easier match first. Hearn feels the choice may be about money, not careful planning. He is also unsure if Dubois's confidence is fully back after losing to Alexander Usyk. If Dubois is not mentally ready, the pressure of a big title fight could show weaknesses. Just having talent may not be enough if doubt appears during the fight.
The last time, see, if I was Daniel Dubois, I would be coming back with a fight. But what happens is, you make so much money, you don't want to come back with one of those fights because you're not really looking at the long play.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's a little bit of a poor decision. Like, the last time Daniel Dubois fought was September? July? No.
July.
Right.
Usyk.
July, right?
Usyk.
Against Usyk.
Usyk.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. That was now 8 months ago. Coming up. 7, 8 months, right? So he's going to be out of the ring. If he fights in May, which is the rumour, he's going to be out of the ring for 10 months after getting knocked out. Daniel Dubois is the kind of guy who, if he has any doubts in himself, if he's not 100% confident, he's much easier to beat than the flip side of that. I just think that Fabio, look, Daniel Dubois hits really hard. Like, he can take anybody out early or hurt anybody early. But if you get past 2 or 3, 4 rounds with him and you start making him second guess himself, you're going to break him down real quick. And I think Wardley and Dillian and Joe, those guys, will look at that fight, Ben, and say, that's a good fight for us. And, great fight. 2 Brits fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think it would be the fight to make for those guys.
Carl Froch has a calm and balanced view. He respects Wardley's non-stop style and the way he keeps moving forward and throwing punches. But he also knows how dangerous Daniel Dubois is. Dubois's power is a threat in every round, not just at the start. One punch at any moment could suddenly end the fight. That means Wardley must stay focused and defend well the whole time, because Dubois only needs one perfect shot to change everything.
Some people are even asking where Fabio Wardley goes next. Derek Chisora said that he should be fighting someone like Daniel Dubois, and he thinks he'll win that fight as well. Would you agree with Derek on that?
If you don't get caught on the chin with a big heavy right hand off Dubois, Fabio Wardley could outwork him, but it's a dangerous fight for Wardley, that is. Big puncher Dubois, dangerous puncher for 12 rounds. So, but he's here now, isn't he? After beating Parker. Parker's world level.
Yeah.
Made the job, done the job with him. He's got options, hasn't he? He's got at some stage he's gonna have to take the plunge. But I don't think I'd fight Dubois. But he can't be jumping in there with. Who else could he jump in there with? Maybe AJ. That could be the fight for him. Yeah. AJ won't fight Wardley. Too high risk, low reward.
Even if there
and now he's in the clown world. He's not going to want that. He's going to want clown world money, isn't he?
Even if there was a Usyk rematch maybe after, do you not think Joshua would jump in with Wardley?
Potentially. I don't think AJ's going to fight again.
Derek Chisora says this fight is about heart and toughness. He points to Wardley's fight with Joseph Parker as proof of his strong character. Wardley stayed close, took hard punches, and kept moving forward until he found his chance. Chisora believes strong mental power can wear down even the hardest punchers. When a fighter never backs up and keeps pushing, it can frustrate someone who depends mostly on knocking people out.
I believe that Fabio and Daniel, great fight.
Who wins that fight?
I see Fabio winning it. Fabio is tough, you know. Fabio hasn't got boxing skills. What he has is fucking heart, bro. When you fight somebody with heart, yeah, it's gonna be a long night, yeah. He's got heart. He got hit, but he carries on coming. You understand? And I think, listen, if you don't take that with Daniel, his man here, him and Fabio.
Paulie Malignaggi focuses mostly on Dubois's mindset. He says Dubois can be very powerful when confident, but weak if he doubts himself. Malignaggi thinks the timing of this fight matters a lot. Fighting someone like Wardley while still thinking about a big loss could be dangerous. Even a short pause or doubt could let disaster happen, because in this division, one punch can decide the whole fight.
From Wardley perspective, I think it's a shootout of a fight. And I think Wardley, is intelligent to get Dubois right now, because you don't know how Dubois' mindset is at coming off the knockout loss to Usyk. Because let's remember, Dubois had a lot of momentum before the Usyk rematch. And the Usyk rematch was you were almost looking at it like, okay, is he catching him now at the right time?
Well, he lost his momentum a little bit, didn't he? Because he didn't have the fight with Joseph Parker. So he didn't have that fight opportunity.
Yeah.
He beat Joshua, did a great job there, and then carried
But
forward.
he also won a bunch of fights when he was the underdog. So he started to take that momentum over. You were really talking about him a lot. He did Jarrell Miller, Ergovich. I think he'd stopped Miller as well. You know, he was in good form. So to get knocked out, you remember the first fight, the reason he had the rematch is because the first fight was kind of controversial. To get knocked out the way he was knocked out, I have a curiosity about where his confidence is at, where his head is at. Because Dubois is sort of like that. You know, he's kind of hot and cold, as we've seen in his career. So I think Wardley getting Dubois right now is kind of smart, because Dubois, if he starts picking up momentum, can be dangerous. But if you have Dubois who's an unsure Dubois, he sort of can look the polar opposite of a guy who has all the momentum.
But it's interesting.
And especially that Wardley can punch and get him out of there.
All these experts agree on one thing: this fight won't be boring. Two young, strong British heavyweights, each with their own story, are about to face off. Wardley has a story of fast rise, tough comebacks, and surprising wins, while Dubois has powerful knockouts but questions about mental toughness. Fighting in Manchester, a city full of heavyweight history, makes it even more intense. When the bell rings, all the talk about confidence, strength, and strategy will be real. British boxing fans will see it happen live under the bright lights.